Hey everybody. So a friend of mine is doing some home renos and he's asked me if I could cut him a mantle for his fireplace. Of course I agreed and it's my first commission, so I want to do a really nice job for him. Obviously I'm going to take my time, get everything as square and straight as possible, and I've got 4 cameras out here, so there should be some really cool footage. So it's going to be worth watching to the end and, stick with it. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy the show. All right, this is the log I've got selected for him. It's a long dead white oak. I pulled it out of the bush maybe 2 years ago, and it's been sitting up off the ground for a while. I mean, it's wet, it's outside, it's in the snow and everything, but it's actually a pretty nice piece of wood. And it's got a couple of little knots and stuff in the end that'll probably make the green kind of interesting for him. He wants it a little bit rustic, so I think this is a good piece. I think it's about 12 feet long. He needs something 8 feet long, but we'll just leave it a little long for him so he can let it season in his house for a good while before he puts it up. And I think it'll be beautiful. Let's take a look at this log. The piece he wants is, he wants it 6 inches high and 8 inches deep. So it's going to be a fireplace mantle, right? Kind of a rough one. So I see I've got some knots, like that one's kind of rotted in. There's another little one. There's another one over there. Let's take a little swing around to the other side. So the reason I picked this log is because it's really straight. And it's probably been dead for 10 years, if not more. I know he's going to put this in sometime this spring. It was kind of a last minute thing, but I think if he puts it in his basement or puts it somewhere in his house so that it can season a bit, get rid of all that water that's inside, I think it'll be fine. Anyway, there's the knots, which are character, right? There's a couple more there. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the actual center of the tree is right there. So it's a little bit closer to the bottom than the top. From everything I've read, now this isn't a structural piece, but I want it to stay as straight as possible. You want to keep that sort of centered as best you can, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll check the height here, and I'll check it on the other end. This is the thick end of the log. That's tapered just a little bit down there, but not actually all that much. So yeah, let's go take a look at that end if we can. It's kind of buried in there. Good. Yeah, it's the same thing on this end. You see the center is slightly towards the bottom, which is, I guess, fine. Like I say, it only needs to be, I need 6 inches out of this, so there should be lots there. Let's go grab the tape. There we go. So on this side, the center is 4.5 inches. So I need 6 inches here, 8 inches here. So there's no way around it. That's going to be slightly lower, but hey, that's life. And let's see here. So it's 4 and a half. And then on the other side, it is, it's 4.5. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to leave that log like that. I'm not going to shim it or anything like that. I'm going to take this down. I need 6 inches. I need 8 inches. Sort of there will give me a nice 8 inches out of the minimum. And then from there up 6 is there. I think I'm going to move it up just a wee little bit. So probably about there. Let me make this easier. There we go. There we go. Now we can see what's going on a little better. There's the center, much easier to see now. I think what I'm going to do is I need 8 inches off the bottom here, right? So how are we going to do this? So I think rather than cut it straight, I think I'm going to just roll it a little bit and then take the 6 inches from here. So I would say that's going to be the bottom. It's 10 inches, so if I took, kind of cutting it close here, but I guess if it's less than 8, if it doesn't look good, then that's the way it's going to have to be. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. So before I mark this off, I think I'm just gonna slab this baby out, get these off. I should be able to get, well, it depends. I might be able to get a 1-inch piece there, maybe something there. Hard to say. This is the thick end of the log, so kind of hard to read. All right. So I have a feeling I know I nudged the whole sawmill just a little bit when I was putting this log on. So just before I get too far into this, I want to make sure that it's level. It's pretty much bang on still. Wow, yeah, it's good that way. I really love this little laser level. It wasn't very much off of Amazon, but boy, it makes this process a lot easier. Okay, this side is clearly not level. I want to do a nice job here, so I'm going to put a brand new blade on. This blade's not that bad. It's been cutting a bunch of ash, like a bunch of ash. But you know, I want this to have a nice surface. He doesn't want it rustic, but he doesn't want it wavy, you know. So I'll just take a minute, flip on a brand new blade, probably take it off again and just keep using this one. Most of the stuff I've been cutting lately is just for myself, or probably a sawmill, to be honest with you. You know, to protect this thing a little bit better. So it doesn't really need to be all that great. I think once I'm done this little project, it's supposed to get really cold, like really cold. So I think I'm going to take the whole sawmill into the house. I usually just leave it outside with a cover on it. I take it into the house, give it a good clean, going over, tightening, just to make sure everything's all right. I am a fair weather kind of guy, so I'm not very likely to be out here when it's minus whatever. It's probably a better time for me to get into the bush while the ground is frozen, to get more logs out, and I'll just cut them all summer long. You know, I'd rather do that than freeze my butt off out here. I just use the Frontier blades because, I don't know, that's all I know. They're well priced and seem good enough to me. Once again, I have absolutely no experience with this at all, right? So I'm figuring it out as I go along. This is my starter sawmill. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I've been tightening at for. Hopefully it's good. Let's give this a couple of turns. Make sure everything's riding right. Make sure that it's riding out on the outside. Yeah, that's good. Those are good. Good. let's take a look at our first cut. Isn't that beautiful? That wood has been, this tree's been dead for, it's gotta be 10 years. But man, it is rock solid. And a couple of knots are kind of cool. Beautiful. A little bit of patina here, you know, but that's okay. So after just the initial slab, I've already got my 6 inches. I think we're going for 8 here though, right? Yeah. I take that down. Yeah, it'll get there. Oh, for sure. So I'm going to take a 1-inch slab off of that, and then that will be it for that surface done. And yeah, we'll go from there. Time for the last surface. So far we're doing really, look at that. Everything's nice and square, parallel. Quite happy with this. So yeah, this is it. Last one. Okay, so here's the finished piece. Looks pretty nice to me. White oak, long dead, but solid still. Nice and straight. There are a few little waves in it. I mean, it's a brand new blade, but still it's just a little wavy. He wants the 8-inch sides, so this side, he wants those planed. So that'll take care of all of that. And then he wants to leave the front face a little bit rough, probably just with the saw marks. So, you know, that's up to him. There's how I did for the end grain, the center of the tree, more or less in the middle. Let's go take a look at the other side. Same kind of thing, as close as I could reasonably get. I'd like to know how I did here. If there are some more experienced sawmill types out there, sawyers I guess they call them, let me know how I did, because I'm really new at this, and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun, and I've got a lot of trees, to cut through. So yeah, I'd like to know how I did. Okay, let me know. Here's what I slabbed off. You know, I think being a long dead tree or a standing dead tree, it's kind of got some funky color in it, which is kind of cool, I think. I don't know, these pieces I might just, well, he wants a couple pieces to try to stain and, you know, all that kind of thing. I might just take these and rip them down into nice square edged boards, or actually I'll talk to him. You know, maybe he wants a couple of live edge boards or make a charcuterie board or something to match, I don't know. I'll leave that up to him, and I'll just leave these to sit. They're not, you know, they're not in any kind of trouble. They're not going to go anywhere. And yeah, that's what I got. So just to finish this off, it's 12 feet long right now. I'm going to cut it down to, he wants 8 feet, so I'll probably cut it to about 8.5 or 9 feet maybe. I've got a use for the little cutoff, so that's no big deal. And then I've got some Lee Valley end sealer somewhere, and I'll seal the ends up, and we'll get this thing inside and let it start to season, and hopefully get it into his house as soon as possible, and let it get accustomed to what's going on. From what I understand, he wants it a little bit rough, so if it checks a bit or twists or whatever, that's life. But I don't know, 6 inches by 8 inches white oak, is it gonna twist? Maybe, who knows. Anyway, I really appreciate you all watching this and putting up with my rambling. So if you like this, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up, bells, and all that kind of stuff, and give me a little help, okay? Appreciate it. Thanks for now. Always wanted to do this. So this is what we're working with, okay? Doesn't do it justice. There you go. Isn't that nice? That's a beautiful green. See how it's kind of got a little bit of dark kind of funkiness to it? If he's going to put a little bit of a light stain on it, that'll even out. And these are the edge boards, so they're probably worse. But man, that's going to look nice.